visited France in 2019. I went to this museum somewhere outside of Paris. It was about 30 minutes outside of Paris, and it was a special Van Gogh exhibit where they had these digital images hanging from the ceiling and mounted to the wall. It was just so beautiful. I took a ton of pictures in there, and I thought it would be fun to recreate this. This is the Café in Arles, France, and several different snapshots of it illuminated on these little hanging panels, and I'm going to give it a try. So for the ceiling, I've got it outlined here. I used a Micron pen, permanent ink pen here, and I'm going to paint the ceiling with a mixture of phthalo blue and neutral tint to darken it. I'm going to turn this upside down to paint this because it's just a little easier that way. I'm just going to use a round brush. I think it's a size 6. It's just a cheap brush I got, and I really like it. I bought it for some beginner watercolor classes, and I just really like it. So these little poles that hold the panels here, I'm just going to paint over them with this dark color. I'm going to paint over the lights also, because I'm going to use some gel pens, I think, or acrylic pens to give it light. I just turn this all these different directions just to make it easy. Let's see, where does that go? Oh yeah, it goes down to here. Make me dizzy. While it's still glistening, I can add more paint. When it starts looking matte, you have to stop. I wanted a little extra dark over here. Okay. Now for the floor, when you look at this, it's this bright, bright blue. So I'm going to use phthalo blue. Probably should get cobalt blue. Actually, I'm going to use ultramarine blue. Yeah, that's more the color I want. Yeah, that's it. Oh, I'm liking it already. Okay, I'm going to let this dry before I start on this because I will most likely end up touching something up there and it will bleed in. So let it dry. Now for this wall back here, I've got ultramarine mixed with just a little bit of burnt sienna to darken it a little. The wall needs to be darker than the floor. And if it doesn't turn out to look darker, then I'll just do another layer. This was such an amazing museum to go to. They had some old watercolor pigments. I don't know if it's some that Van Gogh used, but it was there. It was really cool to see. I switched to a little smaller brush. This is a size 6, kind of a long round, pointed round. I have to turn everything around to be able to get to it easily. And then turn it around this way to get this last little piece here, right by the ceiling. I already know I'm going to have to add another layer for the ceiling because I want it really dark. And then finish this little piece over here. There's a lot of blue in this painting. I love blue. Oh, I love how it looks already. Okay, let that dry. Okay, this is dry. Now I'm going to do a glaze of neutral tint over the ceiling. And a glaze is just simply doing a very light wash over a dried section of watercolor paint. Because I want this dark. It needs to be dark to contrast with these bright panels here. It's going to be hard to see the lines that I drew, that I traced, but that's okay. I'll figure it out. I just want this really dark. That's dark. That's what I was wanting. I can kind of see the lines. Okay, I'm going to let this dry. Okay, it's dry. I can still see my lines, just barely, but that's okay. So I'm going to darken this wall here. I added some of that neutral tint to my ultramarine blue, and I'm just going to go over this wall one more time. Get it darker. The fun part's going to happen soon when I get to paint the Van Gogh paintings. You could do the Van Gogh paintings with ink pens, markers, acrylic markers. I'm going to use some markers because I want a bright, bright yellow. Oh yeah. Ooh, I'm liking this. Okay, I want this to dry before I start fiddling with the paintings. Okay, I'm going to start adding the yellow here. I'm just looking at the painting. There's some yellow in the sky. I'll probably have to end up doing some gel pen or acrylic pen, but I'll start with this, and then the yellow for the bright windows. Yellow for this awning. And this window's got some yellow. There's a lot of yellow behind here in this cafe. There's some yellow here in the street. Just doing some blobs. And this is the part of the awning. Let's see. Some of these windows. I think that was yellow. Okay, let this dry. While this is drying, I'm doing some lifting here. And what I'm doing is I've got this chisel blender. It's just a flat brush with a very chisely end to it. I'm going to dampen it, and I'm just going to lift out these lines because this is a metal frame thing for the ceiling tiles. So it needs to be a little bit lighter. And I can kind of see my original lines, not too well, but I've got a damp brush here. Let's see, where is it? Right here. And I'm just going to do a quick little back and forth and then lift with a clean paper towel. Get it wet again, dry it off pretty much because I don't want it too wet. And then lift. See? Got white lines under there. Not white, it's blue because that first layer was blue. Another one here. Ooh, I got a lot of water that time. Didn't mean to get that much. That's okay. Where's this other one? Gotta look at my reference. Oh, there isn't one over here. Now, there's one here. Dab. Where's the other one? Man, I painted dark. Very thick line. Didn't mean it to be that thick, but that's okay. It's going to look like ceiling tiles. And now over here. Man, I made this hard for myself. Oh, I see it now. I just need to follow that. Then follow this line. Follow that line. I think there's one more down in there. This one right here. Okay. That worked. You see the ceiling tiles now. Okay, this is still wet, so I'm going to let that dry before I do anything else. I am going to do another layer of ultramarine blue down here. It's just a little too light. I want it darker. Yeah, that's better. Okay, I need to let all this dry. Okay, there are a couple of ceiling lights up here that I can't really see where they are on here, but that's okay. I know one's right here, right above, so I'm going to use a round brush, and it's a little bit damp. It's not too wet, and I'm just going to make a little lift here. There we go. And then the other one is about here. Just lift up some color. This is going to be the glow of the light. Then there's one right here. It's kind of like a little spotlight. Okay, I will deal with that later. Adding some white. This is still a little bit wet, so I'm just going to walk away and let it dry. Okay, it's dry. I'm really liking this. It's just so cool. Okay, so now I'm going to work on these panels here. So around the yellow spots, the little stars, I've got some manganese blue. I'm going to be careful not to go over the yellow because that will come across as green. But I'm not going to promise that I can do that. Oops, that one just went over the whole thing. That's okay, dab it up. I'm going to use the same color to fill in some of these lighter blue areas on the painting. And just kind of blob some blue here for the path, the street. That was fun. Let's see, what am I missing? Okay, I'm going to use some of this color. This was the ultramarine blue mixed with some neutral tint. And then I'm going to get some of the darker areas. These buildings were pretty dark. Got too much paint, so I'm just dabbing it on the paper towel. These buildings over here are pretty dark. Trying to avoid the yellow. Some of these windows. Ooh, that's still wet. That's okay. Just drop in a little. And then again, some of the darker blue little blobs here on the street. Lots of dark on this one, this building. That's so cute. It's pretty dark here at the bottom, so I'm just going to drop in some of this neutral tint here. It's pretty dark. Then over here we've got some blue, darker blue. Damp brush, just kind of smear that around. I really like how this is turning out. Okay, so for the brackets up here that are holding the these panels, I'm going to lift a little bit so that we can see them. Let's see, where is it? Okay, here it is. Just do a little lifting. There's one. And then the other one, where is it? Okay, got those two. And there was a couple over here. Like brackets holding it up. When it dries, I'll add some dark around the edges. Let's see, what can we do now while this is drying? I'm going to add a little white dot for the light. This little light. And this one. Do a pin around it. And this is, oh, I forgot to, I'm going to do a little lifting of this lamp here. This little spotlight lamp. There we go. When that dries, I'll add some ink to it. It kind of looks like a spotlight. Okay, I'm going to, is that dry? Yeah, I think it's dry enough. I'm just going to do an outline here of this bracket, this pole going down. Same with this one. And this light here. This light and this one. It does look like lights in the ceiling. Okay, now let's get back to our panels here. So for the sky, I'm going to do ultramarine. I'm going to do just some brush strokes going down. Trying to go around these lighter ones. This is just so cute. It's not going to be perfect. That's not the goal. Oh wow, this is bringing me so much joy. when I visited this museum. I had just started watercolor painting just a few months before, and I just thought, gosh, I would love to paint this someday. And I'm doing it. Okay, so for the cafe outdoors, it looks like there's a little bit of kind of an orangey color. I'm going to use transparent orange. It's a little too bright, so I'm going to mix it with some blue here. I think that's good. I'm just going to negative paint around the tables. Leave the tabletops white as best I can. There's a little bit of orange over here. Do some little blobs in the street. Just looking at the painting and thinking what I need to add. Oh, I really like this. It just makes me happy. Okay, so I need to use some black ink for the sides of these panels, and then I'm going to go around with a pretty thick marker, this 1.0 fine liner, but I need to make sure everything is dry. So I'm just going to step away and let it dry. Okay, it's dry, but I think this building needs to be darker. Here, those two need to be darker. So I'm going to do another layer of this ultramarine mixed with neutral tint here. It needs to be darker. It'll make those yellow windows, the lights in the windows, really pop more. Oh yeah, that's much better. Just adding more contrast here. I think this building right here needs to be a little darker, so I'm just going to go over with the same color here. It'll darken it up. It'll still be lighter, like it is in the photograph. But it was just too light. Oh, I just love the little stars. I think the sky needs to be darker. So I'm just going to add more ultramarine to this mixture. If that's still wet, there's going to be a problem. I think it's still wet. So I'm just going to let this dry. Yeah, that's better. Needed to be a little darker. I'll get to that in a bit. That building is just too wet. Make this a little bit darker in the sky. Don't mess up my stars. Oh, I really like that. That is just too cute. I'm going to do another layer of this orange mixture, which was transparent orange and a little bit of ultramarine blue. It's a little bit darker. I'm just going to kind of splotch it down here in places, leaving the tabletops white. I'm going to try to. Put a few splotches down here. Okay, I'm going to let it dry, then do my last outline, do some lifting for this reflection on the shiny floor. We'll see how that goes. Okay, it's dry, so I can make this sky darker. With ultramarine, and it's mixed with just a tad of the neutral tint. Oh gosh, this is just too cute. Okay. Let's see what I can do with the reflections. We'll see how this works. I'm not too confident here. So I'm just going to kind of go across where it should be. Just kind of come down. We'll see what that does. Oops, dropped some water, splashed it. That's okay, we can fix it. Then we've got some over here. That didn't turn out quite the way I thought it should. That's okay. it look like reflections? Not really. That's okay. I'm going to let it dry and then paint over it with the ultramarine blue again and see if I can get some of that to not look like that. While this is drying, I'm going to go over the outline with this bold pen here. Kind of clean up my edges. Let's fill this in. It'd be better if I got a broader nib, but that's okay. I'm going to come back with a pen that's got a bigger nib to it. But for now, that's what it's going to be. Okay, this is dry, so I'm just going to go over it with some ultramarine blue. It still will be lighter in that area, but it's just a little too stark there. So let's see what this does. It's going to be a little lighter. It should look like, a lighter spot. Yeah, it does. It does okay. It's not perfect. It's okay. Okay, I think that's just going to be it. It is lighter here, so you can kind of see that it's a reflection, but I'm not going to stress about it. Let's get a darker pen here with a bigger nib. Yeah, that's better. Okay, I'm going to let that dry. I think it's just about done. Okay, I'm calling this done. I didn't do a very good job with the reflection, but that's okay. I still love it. This is the main attraction right here, and I just love this. It's very bright. It actually looks like it's glowing. So my favorite thing to do after doing a painting is to remove the tape. And if your tape starts to stick and pull up paper, then use a hairdryer or heat gun to warm it up a bit, and the adhesive will loosen and it'll pull away a lot easier. And always pull the tape away from your painting like this. Okay. I just love this. It just makes me smile. Now, if you've got some areas that you want a little bit brighter, you could use a gel pen. I might use a little bit of the gel pen for the stars, just here and there, little dots. There's some dots kind of in the sky here and there. It's done. It makes me smile. Thank you so much for being a subscriber. I hope this was fun, and I hope to see some of your paintings of this. Thank you again.